First day of bat mods. We're taking the bed off.
Hey there, welcome to On a Slow Boat Fast Moto. Thanks for joining today. We wanted to talk about our truck, Expedition truck rebuild.
We got a 96 F250, the 7.3 diesel. We've had the truck for, this summer will be almost 4 years. It's the Bat, the big ass truck. And we picked it up from a neighbor that lives part-time down in Central Baja. The cool thing about it is it actually has a title. So a little bit of corrosion, no doubt, from spending half its life down on the beach, but not that bad for something that's 25 years old. It only had about 115,000 miles on it.
So early in 2018, we bought our Tepui tent. Since then, we've had it for about 2.5 years and camping in it and really working out the kinks of the truck and mechanically making sure everything's sound, making sure that it was going to be a long-term truck for us. So we replaced a few things, replaced the starter, replaced the 2 batteries, replaced the steering components, replaced the leaf springs, and also added an additional 4-inch lift. Replaced wheels. We put on 17-inch wheels and got some new boots for the truck. We have 33s on it, 33-inch 1250s. Got general grabber tires. They've worked out great for some off-roading and stop sand. Trucks really worked out well. So the idea was we make sure the truck was sound and doing what we wanted it to do and capable of going where we wanted to go before we started to really build out the truck for long-term use.
What type of gear we'd want to bring along, how we want to transport that. Just gave us some time to consider what mods we wanted to put on it, and we kept circling back to some type of utility bed or flatbed. And for the sake of saving weight and getting the most space out of it, we settled on trying to find a flatbed, specifically an aluminum flatbed for the weight savings. We were fortunate enough to finally find one up in Central Cal from a fabricator that had it on his own truck. He's going to modify it slightly, and we're going to head up there and have that thing installed.
So we went through several renditions of sketches for the truck over the past year or so, trying to map out where we're going to put stuff, how much storage we need, what kind of boxes we're going to have. So we kind of knew all along we wanted a flatbed, some auxiliary batteries, some riding gear, water tank in here. We'd be able to mount our tent up here and then have a canopy up here, shovel mounts, all kinds of cool stuff like that. I even kind of outlined what we put inside the cab, but looking at both sides of the truck. So I was even mapping out driver side versus passenger side. Then when we came across this flatbed, I drew out a blank sketch of what the truck would look like with the flatbed with this canopy box that the fabricator had already made, and to see if it would work for us. Possibly putting a basket on top of the canopy box, and this basket would be for firewood.
Why aluminum?
Purely for weight. Purely for weight and I guess indirectly corrosion resistance. Not that we're around a lot of salt water anymore, aside from this, but you know.
So how many bolts did you end up finding? 4?
On the bed, yeah.
Barrett soaked all of them in this coil. Show where it is.
Spin it back.
Those 2. That. Up in there. Up there. Up there.
We tried to get the bed off ourselves, decided that it was not going to happen in the time frame that we needed it to, so we took it down to our trusted mechanic who's amazing. Done a lot of work for us over the years. We're gonna go pick it up from him. He got the truck bed off in a couple hours.
Bueno. Yeah, so we got electrical work to do now.
Thank you, Tao. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are amazing. So the first words were, we could not have done it by ourselves. The bed is loose. Most of the bolts are out. There's a few just kind of like loosely bolted on so that we can get it down the street.
Disconnect some of these rock lights we've got mounted up underneath here. Reuse those and then just tuck up all this wiring along with that harness right there that we'll reuse with the new bed. So, and now I'm going to start working on removing the fill line hoses here. It starts with this clamp just hanging the assembly in the rear tank fill line. So I'll get these off. All right, the fuel hose connections came out pretty easily. Just release that. Now we got to just lift that straight up. Pretty simple, easier than I thought. So next step is we're going to work on removing the wiring harnesses from the tail lights. Be commended on my safety puncture here. My moto butt. All right.
It only took 4 of us to lift it off, and it was just a lot lighter than we could have expected. Going to the paint shop. Paint day. Buddy's dad has a body shop, so we're taking it over there. It's gonna get a paint job. There it is. It looks freaking awesome.
Well, let's go check it out. Look at the mirrors.
Pulled in. We're so excited. Oh my God! Look at it. It looks legit. Look at it. Hey, how are you? You're Ryan, right? Look at this thing.
Stay tuned for part 2 when we clean up the chassis, get rid of the old rust, the new paint on the underside, and pick up the new flatbed.